Next up on the stage, Scott MacDonald. That's right, give it up.
All my banjos have the inlays in different places, so just give me a minute to figure out where I am. All right, anyway, it's nice to be back. This is from about 1895, and it doesn't like traveling in cars. So I decided I would bring a couple of short pieces to read it as well as play something, since it was spoken word. And ironically, those of you last week that, when I talked about how I hadn't performed in about 8 years, I haven't read in about 8 years either. I kind of stopped doing a lot of things. So these are older pieces. When I was living in my old home, we had tiny property, or like everybody had tiny properties. There was no wood stove and no fireplace. And I grew up with a fireplace. And I lived in this house for 27 years with no fireplace or wood stove. And all my neighbors had wood stoves or fireplaces. And in the wintertime, when your houses are right on top of each other, you can smell their fire. And when you don't have one, it really sucks. You step out of your car and you smell that and you know that you don't have it. And it's just like, okay, I'm going in the house now. So this is called January Wood, and I have a wood stove now. Just had my first winter with it, and oh my God, this poem means nothing anymore. I can just throw it away. January Wood. Standing in the driveway, the smell of a wood fire and snow evokes a memory from what seems, but is not, a different life. Time tripping helplessly, unable to stop the process. A tiny blizzard-locked cabin with plastic mattresses and a rusty wood stove. Knotty pine, book-matched planks with eyes like demons and bats grow and shrink by candlelight. You were next to me, cold and warm, ridiculously younger and full of dreams. Standing in socks, in what passes as a bathroom, on pea-soaked unfinished floorboards wobbled upon by countless numb-toed hikers and skiers, hurrying back to sleeping bags, blankets, and impatient frost-nipped lovers desperately warming hands to avoid complaints. A chirp from the remote as my icy fingers fumble for the button. No fireplace of my own. I'm victim to this vision each time I step from car to cobblestone as my neighbors burn January wood. Thanks. I wrote this when I was about 20. I had just performed at a, God help me, St. Patrick's night at P.J. Moran's in Westport, Connecticut. And my car ran out of motor oil halfway back to my dorm. And as my car started going, the lights pulled up behind me, and it was the 92-year-old fiddler from the bar, and he had a quart of oil. And I put it in my car, it started up, and I went back. There's no words. It's sort of in a very corny way in the song. Called the Sherwood Island Connector, which is the name of the road that I was on when my car died. God, that 92-year-old fiddler totally kicked my ass that night, too. Boy, he was good. I was only 19. I could barely play. The year my little girl was born. Yeah, wow. Maggie's mittens. I find a pair of tiny lime green mittens in the pocket of my parka. They've been hiding there for days, so small, easily keeping their secret. Neither bulge nor ripple betray their presence. Her little hands have been kneading these. I hope they were not too cold. And anybody with kids knows that feeling. This guitar was, everybody wants, most musicians want to have a guitar that was made the year they were born, right? This was made the year I was conceived. I figure that's more fun. So, it was definitely more fun for my mom at the time, I guess. This is called Dig Deep. Well, you got to dig deep. You got to use your hands. You gotta squeeze the mud in your fist before you understand. Gotta claw through the bugs, down through crumbling bones. Dig deep with your hands, you gotta do it alone. You gotta rip off the flesh that surrounds you, peel down the baby's skin. It's gonna sting and bleed when the cold wind blows, but that's the only way to let truth in. When I was just a boy, the soil was my friend. I would dig it deep, go home and wash my hands. Takes a lot of work, more each passing year. Trying to walk the walk and trying not to run in fear. Now I'm looking at this boy beside me. He's digging in the mud outside. Don't wash your hands too quickly, son, 'cause a man needs stains on his hide. That's how he knows he's digging deep. I'm staring at the moon out in my backyard. Well, that night air keeps me cold so I can wrestle with God. Wife and kids are in bed, but I don't really care. I'm not going in till there's spiders crawling in my hair. You gotta scrape off the flesh that surrounds you, peel down the baby's skin. It's gonna sting and bleed when the cold wind blows, but that's the only way to let truth in. You know you got to dig deep.